Okay, how much time do we have for Libra? We've got 13 minutes. I'm going to try to get this out. Okay, Libra, planetary ruler, Venus. Libra rules relationships. Libra rules the 7th house. Libra rules justice. It rules balance. Libra also rules Venus rules comfort. Rules both Taurus and Libra. So let me talk a little bit more about the planet Venus, the ruler, and then I'll get into, I'll get more into Libra. But Venus is about comfort and love, it's about affection. Venus also has a dark side, and I'll get to that in a minute. Libra, again, rules the 7th house, of relationships, whereas Taurus, also ruled by Venus, rules the 2nd house of value. I say value, I mean, you hear it, oh, well, I thought it was the 2nd house of money. But there's so much more to value than just money. It's a beautiful dragonfly that just went flying by. Okay, anyway. There's more to it than just money. That 2nd house rules, your self-esteem and your self-worth. It also rules whatever valuation was put on you as a child or not put on you. Libra traits. They like that comfort. They like that comfort. They can provide that comfort. The Taurus people and Libra people that I know, it's like their house is like an open door. I mean, they let people in. They take people in. One Venusian, I'll just call them Venusians. One Venusian massage therapist, after a couple of appointments, she's like, hey, come on over. Come on over and hang out with everybody, And I see the same thing with Libra. I have a friend who is a Libra sun, and she's got a lot of people in her house all the time. Sometimes it drives her nuts, but I mean, she has that grace of, opening her home to whoever's in need. That's what I've seen in Libra and Taurus. They give material comfort. It's material. Like, I already said in the Taurus video that it is that Taurus rules the material stuff. The condition of your self-worth and your self-value can affect, your ability to, go out there and earn that money. But again, it's not just about money. It is about value and worth, period. So that's the 2nd house. The 7th house rules all sorts of relationships. It's not just romance. It could be your relationship with your son, and you'd be able to see that, in your own life, but you'd be able to see it reflecting from both your natal charts, doing, synastry and chart comparison. Relationships, business relationships, that would reflect, on the natal chart. With synastry, if you're in business with a particular person, the synastry, would show, how harmonious the relationship is, the business relationship is. The 7th house also rules the house, it is also the house of open enemies. You don't hear this a lot, but I found that one out, and I'm like, wow, the accuracy of that. It's so true. I've got Pisces on the cusp of my 7th house in Aries, and the passive-aggressive personalities that I've had to deal with my entire life, no matter how much spiritual work, no matter how much spiritual growth, I mean, it's just shocking, unbelievable. Because Neptune, I'm getting off track here. Neptune is the alcoholic of the zodiac. That's the low octave of Neptune. And if you already come from a very dysfunctional family and you've had issues, attracting, what you were born into, you've got Pisces on the cusp of your 7th house. The people who show up in your life, drug addiction, alcoholism, religious fanaticism, Neptune and Pisces. Neptune rules religious fanaticism. Jupiter does rule the house of philosophy, the 9th house, but religious fanatics and Neptune, there you go. It's getting a little crowded around here. The 7th house, that is your relationships. There are other relationship houses, but I'll get into that in another video. Okay, now the dark side of Venus, the ruler of both Taurus and Libra. The dark side is addiction to comfort, needing to have comfort at any cost, even if that cost is your own child, needing to have a man at any cost, and then this man is harming the child in some way, abusing the child in some way. That's including sexually, any kind of abuse. People who have an unbalanced Libra, Taurus, Venus, they will allow harm to come to their children for the sake of comfort, for the sake of pleasure. And that whole house of open enemies. You can have an enemy who you thought was so gracious and so kind and so welcoming, and they turn out to be your worst nightmare. And then they do it openly when they do it. They just are right in your face. And if they've got some Aries energy going on in their chart, if they've got a strong Aries with that afflicted, Venus energy, then they're not only your open enemy, but when they strike, it's going to hurt. So, this is my video about Libra. What do I like about Libra? What I like about Libra, the friendliness, the warmth, the quality of, just that Venusian quality of bringing comfort. Back to my massage therapist, her room was lit up with these beautiful salt lamps, and she had, quartz crystals all around the whole room. It was beautiful, and as soon as I walked in, my stress just melted away. That's the power of Venus. Venus can do that. That's what I like about Venus. Venus rules, fashion and aesthetics and beauty and cosmetology. It rules those things. I like those things. I'm a licensed esthetician, and yeah, that is a Venusian thing, and it's beautiful. Now, what I don't like about Venus is what I've already said. That the dark side of Venus, dark side of Libra, Taurus as well, is the addiction to comfort. Laziness is another negative Libran trait, a negative Venusian trait. With Taurus, there's the stubbornness. But don't threaten a Venusian's comfort. Because if they are the dark side, if they are dark-sided Venusians, it's all about their comfort. And then there's the eating disorders. because food is comfort, you know, food is comfort. That's also a moon thing as well, but Venus, comfort, it can be food, it can be incessant television watching, just pleasure, pleasure. I want pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. That is the dark side of Venus, Libra, and Taurus. Okay, so with that, I will see you at Scorpio.